You know, when you look at America today and you look at statistics of people who retire, right? Only 4% of America are retired on over $45,000 a year. To me, that's still kind of poverty level. But that's supposed to be good, okay? Well, 97% of America are in this category, meaning they're just barely getting by. But see, 3% of this country does pretty well, right? 3% are making money. They've retired in dignity. Let me ask you a question. How many of you want to be a 3%er? Right? What we do is take people from the 97 to the 3. See, so when you look at our business, a lot of you say, you know, like I think a George, you're an accountant, and, you know, I pick on the engineers and the accountants, all the real smart people. Don't take that the wrong way. I don't think you're that smart. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Here's what I'm saying. They sometimes think it's about the technicalities of it, and I promise you that's the easiest thing you'll ever do. That's the simple part. The hard part for most people in America is thinking that they can achieve it, is really believing that there's an opportunity out there that I can do something with my life, because most people are put down by their jobs, right? They're working 40 or 50 hours a week, working for somebody else, building somebody else's company. They see them more than they see their own family, and they say, hey, that's the way life is. Life dealt me a bad hand. That's not the way it has to be. So more than anything, what I love about Freedom Equity Group is not living benefits, although I like that pretty much. It's not red line, blue line. It's the fact that Al Carty can actually be free. Where else can you do that in America? You can't do it. You can't do it. I mean, let's face it. It is what it is. So here's how I calculate. How do you be free? Now, here's what I want you to understand. Before we put any numbers in here, you'll notice here that it says personal. What's that number there? Can anybody see that? It says 0. You see it says training reps, people, there's zeros, right? And how much income do you make? 0. So what I want you, because we got an accountant in the room, I want you to qualify with me that the sheet is accurate. That if you do nothing, you get nothing. Are we good? So the numbers don't lie. All right? Okay. Now, Mike, see, our goal is to develop, you like that, huh? Our goal is to develop regional vice presidents. Our mission, well, my mission, our team, I'll call it the Freedom Builder team mission, is to develop 6-figure earners. So that's what I want to talk to you about. There may be some people in here who want to make a little part-time money. Just take what I'm doing, cut it in a quarter, and you can make that, okay? But I'm talking about 6-figure earners here. So I'm going to talk to you about becoming a regional vice president, which you can do in 60 days, 90 days if you're real serious about it, okay? Because, see, just because you qualify for a title of regional vice president, does that make you a regional vice president? No. You'll grow into it, but you've accomplished what you needed to accomplish to get there, right? We talked about the training reimbursement. Well, guess what? Remember I said, Mary, I'm going to help you get 3, and then I'm going to go help them get 3. That makes you a regional manager. We do that 3 times, you're a vice president. Okay? So if I help you get 3, and then I go work with them to get 3, I made you a regional manager. Well, if I help them go one more level, you're a vice president. So here's what I promise you. If you show 5 people this program a week, and you can't at least help 1 family, that's pretty bad, actually. Okay? Percentages are going to be much higher. Well, helping one family a week, like Brother B, $300 a month, you make $120,000 a year. How's that? Is that pretty good income? How hard do you work right now? In fact, Dave, I'm quoting you a lot, buddy. Write notes. I want to be in the good book, okay? Put a little star next to my name. Yeah, he said something to me yesterday on the phone. He's got some great gems. He said, I want you to all do this with me right now. Think about how much money you made the last 5 years. You don't have to say it, but think about how much money you made the last 5 years. Now think about, or tell me, no, don't tell me. Just think about how much you've saved of that right now. So if you made $100,000 a year the last 5 years, that's $500,000. And if you can't put your hands on some money, isn't that a scary thought? See, we're going to help you do it right. We're not only going to teach you how to make money, we're going to teach you how to keep it. How important is that? Does that happen at your job every day? Is that what your employer is telling you every day? Of course not, right? So you help 1 family a week. Now, we're all about building teams. Okay, Mike, so let's put 3 regional managers, because I'm talking about Mary here. Let's put 3 regional managers right here. Put a 3 there. whatever there. Put 3 there. It doesn't really matter. And put 10 reps that they're brand new. They don't have a license, right? Put a 10 there. Okay. Now, under the here, they're doing 1 a month. Put the regional managers doing 1 a month. And then the district managers are doing 1 a month. So you got a little business doing 10 sales a month. Okay? So you're doing 1 a week, and you got a little business, you got some part-time people, and you're doing 10 a month. Well, that's $172,000 a year. Well, it was 120 with you person. Now, Adrian, you might say, well, geez, Al, it only went up 52,000 because 120 of it's my pen. Well, hold on to that thought. But here's what I want you to think about. How much money would you need to have in an account to make $52,000 a year? So a minute ago, I asked you, how much do you have saved from the last 5 years of income? Well, if you were getting 5% on your money, how much would you have to have in an account to make 50 grand a year? $1 million. So if you made 100,000 the last 5 years, and you were fortunate enough to save 100,000 of that, well, that'd be 5,000 at 5%. And by the way, banks pay 5%, right? And of course not. They pay negative 5%. But anyway, here's my point. Let's not undervalue what a $52,000 in overrides means. That's a business. Now, Mary, I helped you become a vice president in 9 days because you were coachable. See, I didn't do it for you. I just guided you. And because you were a good student, you got there. You earn it, and you get all the credit for it. Well, is she better than you? No, you said that really fast. Okay? So if she could do it, could you do it? Nancy, what about you? I know you got to think about it because you're an engineer. David knows I love him. He's one of my favorite people. Okay, so I want you to put here on the vice president 3, Mike, and then put 10. All they did, Mary, is they duplicated you. So be careful. Make sure the master copy is worth duplicating. Well, that's another 103,000. Now you're up to 276,000 a year. But you know what? You got promoted. Mike, go up to RVP. Now, even before you do that, I want you to look at personal income here, 120,000. Now go to SVP. So you actually got a raise. On your personal business, you made 6,000 more a year. See, Adrian, sometimes we talk to people, it's all about contracts. Well, 3% was $6,000. Well, we don't even feel that. But that 3% took the 276 to 328. 3% drove your income $50,000. Now, Mike, take out the 4 personal sales. So let me ask you a question. Here's what our business is about, and I'm not going to take this any further than that right now. I'm going to keep it that simple. If I could help you become a vice president in 3 or 4 months, if you'll do what I tell you to do, and then we're going to teach your people how to do the same thing. If I can show you how to have a business like that in a year, will you give me permission to coach you?
Yes.
Okay. That's a $200,000 income with no personal sales. That's a business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's a business. Because see, George, if I don't get up, that's a business because that has nothing to do with my personal income. Now, of course, am I going to be doing personal? Of course I am. But you're going to get to a point, right? Miriam's getting all excited back there. Her bun's about to catch on fire, right? Because she's recruiting up a storm. See, folks, now you understand why I get motivated about red cards. Put a 9 there. And put another 10 there. That's only $400,000 a year, but guess what, Mike? You got promoted. Go from SVP, go to SNVP. I'm not even going all the way to the top. That's a $750,000 income. Now, I know if I keep putting numbers here, you're going to say, oh my God, but you know what? You had no problem believing the zeros. Did you? Everybody believed the zeros. Why can't you believe this? Possibility thinking. Is everybody going to get there? No, only those who really want to. Right, Dallas? Only those who really want to. But the opportunity is there for you to get there. So now let me tie this all together, as we wrap up here today and say this here. Now you understand why I say to you, if we're in the brick business and we check them on Tuesdays and we have no bricks, our business is in status quo. A great man a long time ago once said your business is either growing or dying. There's no status quo. You're either growing or you're dying. So in business, if we're in the people business and we're not introducing to people, what's our business doing? It's dying. But if we're in the people business and every week our team is growing and we're bringing new people, right? What's our business doing? It's growing. This is just logical. I'm not giving you anything that you don't already understand. What I'm hoping to do is impress upon you the importance and the urgency required for you to collapse time frames. And for you to say to yourself, you know what? Yeah, I can see 3 people in a week. You know, Mary, we talked about this here, and I don't have this visual right now, but you'll all see it soon. I mean, we can certainly get 3 people in a year, right? And we can do probably 3 a month. How about a week? Sure. Think we could do it in a day? Yes. Let's say you and I on a Saturday morning says, okay, we're going to go at it today. And you put me in front of 6 or 7 people after we qualified your list. I could probably help you get 3 people in one day. See what I'm talking about? Collapsing time frames? See, it can be done where there's an intent to get it done. See, so now, did I say anything about insurance? We already know that's good, right? You got the old kind, you got a die to use. Well, what good is that, right? Have the one, red line, blue line, which line are you on? Well, I'm on the red line. Okay, we'll show you how to get on the blue. See, that stuff is simple. We don't need to get caught up there. Where we need to get caught up is in changing people's lives. You know, Lindsay says all the time, we don't make sales, we make a difference. We do make a difference, and most of you think we say that for the product. No, that's where we help families financially. Where we make a difference is we can change their family trees. You understand? I mean, look, you know, just in closing here, a little bit of my personal story. Look, my family moved here from Italy. I was the only child born here. My father had a business in Italy. We didn't have a lot of money. When he came here, he didn't go into business. He worked in a factory. Everybody know what a factory is? Okay. My mom, she was kind of sickly. She couldn't work. Well, we didn't have a lot of money. We lived in a modest house. It was about 1,200 square feet, and there were 4 kids and 2 parents that lived there. We make a lot. My father had a big garden in the backyard. Tomatoes, you name it. We had everything, right? Everything we needed. He'd spend 3 or 4 hours. That was his part-time job. He was in there, or his golf, as I said. And he was in the garden all day, and when he wasn't in there, I was in there having to pull weeds like my sister and my brothers, right? Helping take care of the garden, water the plant. But here's my point, folks. What was going to change? Now, you know the funny thing is, I went to school, and then I stopped going to college, and guess where I was? In a factory. It just kind of happened. I didn't plan it that way. From when I was 12, I wanted to be an entrepreneur, Lindsay. But I found myself in a factory. Now, I worked my way up. I was in management, and that's all whatever, okay? But here's the point. I found myself in the same thing. Then at 23 years old, I decided to get out of the box. I went to a meeting. Somebody says, you want to make more money? I said, who the heck would it? You heard that story. And the rest has been history. Well, I promise you, my family tree has changed from that point, okay? Because I can promise you none of my kids are going to work in a factory. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you say, well, do we make a difference? Yes, we do, Lindsay. We make a difference. And my parents were wonderful people. Don't get me wrong. We have more love than you can possibly imagine in our household. We never wanted for anything, especially when it came to love. So this isn't about that. But you know what? Al needed to do something different if he wanted it to be different. It wasn't up to my dad or my mom. It was up to me. He wanted for me like I wanted for me. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So we can change our family tree. So, of course, my conversations with my kids is a lot different. I have a lot of trouble when they say, I got to find a good job, because my mind says, what's that? I ain't seen one yet. I ain't seen one job where companies really take care of their people, really care about them. I heard tons of horror stories, but I ain't heard of that. I ain't heard of anybody changing their family tree because they worked at a company and had a job. I don't hear too many people, other than a very small percentage, retiring financially independent from a job. See, Dallas, that's what makes us special, not the living benefits. It's that we can literally change family trees. Now, it may sound corny to some of you. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. If that's corny to you, maybe this ain't for you. But I can tell you, Al Cardi, Bob, my wife, who I owe a lot to, and our kids have a different life today because somebody had a conversation with me 31 years ago. A conversation. Would you like to make more money? They invited me to a meeting, which fortunately I went to. And the rest is history. See? So sometimes we get caught up in all these little things. I got to learn about this and I got to learn about that. If you can take what I just talked about from here to here and leave with that and share that with people, you got it. Okay? All the other stuff is minuscule. That's simple stuff. That kind of stuff is what's important. Lindsey Byram says all the time, the hope and opportunity meter in America is way down. It is. When more people fear running out of money than dying, that's a scary thought. When more people think that they got to work until they die because they can't afford to retire, that's a scary thought. Well, that doesn't have to be us, right? And it doesn't have to be the people you know. So anyway, I hope you got a lot out of this today. I know I did, just being here and being here with you and the energy that I'm feeling this morning. And see, this is the kind of opportunity we have. Now, I do want to say this here. You're all part of what we call the Freedom Builder team. And we've kind of branded ourselves within the company. You see some of us with shirts on today. And you saw pictures of us in Las Vegas. You didn't need to wear your shirt today, but it's nice that you did. But you saw a picture of us in Las Vegas. Look, our goal here is to create more six-figure earners than anybody else in the company. Okay? Now, I don't know if there's anybody that loves FEG more than I do, but I love our team more than I love FEG. Okay? Because we got some phenomenal people on this team, and it's time to compete. It's time to get serious. It's time to get serious about our own lives and what we can do for other people and take advantage of all the opportunity we have in this company. Equity share. You know, and I could go into a long dissertation about that, but I don't want to do that. I know we ran a little over this morning. I hope you found it worthwhile today. It's time for us to win. Our leaders on this team, Lindsay, the Regises, the Womacs, you know, Leo DeRoyne, I mean, our leaders are stepping up saying, we want to fight the charge. We want to get to the next level. We want to help our people reach higher, and this is the kind of stuff we got to do, okay? So anyhow, with that, I thank everybody for being here today. I know we got a few more goodies in there. Stick around. You don't have to leave.